Have you ever partaken or been a part of distracted driving? I am sure for the majority of you, the answer is yes. I know that I can say for myself, unfortunately, that I have. This is whether you have been in a car when someone is eating, drinking, or even worse, on their cell phones. According to the NHTSA, 660,000 drivers use electronic devices while driving. Today, I will caution you about the dangers of distracted driving nationally. In order to do this, I will first talk about the prominence and effects of distracted driving. Next, I will talk about the main sources of distracted driving. And finally, I will talk to you about the ways distracted driving can be avoided. Let's start by talking about the problems. Today, there are two main problems distracted driving causes. First of all, there are too many injuries and too many deaths occurring. People are impacted by these problems on the daily. According to the targeted news source, Washington, D.C., nearly 10% of traffic deaths include distracted driving. That's about 4,000 deaths that are completely preventable. These deaths never have to happen in the first place. This is all a result of distracted driving in traffic. How horrifying is it that 4,000 lives are lost each year due to distracted driving in traffic? These 4,000 deaths can be completely avoided. On a bigger scale, the U.S. Fed News Service stated that distracted driving was the cause of 18% of all fatal crashes. As shown by these statistics, distracted driving is a major issue, leading to far too many injuries and deaths. Now that we have discussed the problems, next let's discuss why they are happening. The two main reasons why all these problems are happening are due to distractors such as lights, music, food, and drinks. And second of all, the main and most harmful distractor is the cell phone. According to the U.S. News Fed Service, a motorist using an electronic device is 23 times more likely to be involved in a crash as someone who is not. That is increasing your likelihood of being involved in a crash by nearly 25%. That means that every 1 in 4 people would be likely to get in a crash. As cell phones are continuing to take over our lives more and more, they are putting our lives at risk behind the wheel more and more. Now that we have examined the causes, let's uncover some solutions that can fix this issue. There are many steps that can be taken to fix this issue. First, we will look at what we can do on the large scale. Next, we will look at what we can do on a smaller scale. The Targeted News Service states that beating distracted driving will take a wholesome change in our driving culture. In order to make a change, there's going to be a lot done both on the larger and small scales. First of all, there's going to need to be more law enforcement. People should have the fear of being ticketed while driving distractedly. Cities and counties are starting to ramp up their police involvement with distracted driving. According to the U.S. News Fed Service, in the span of 1 month, the Naperville Police in Illinois issued 201 electronic communication device citations. This was a result of a call to action made by the Naperville citizens. The Naperville citizens participated in a distracted driving campaign, drawing attention to the many problems and dangers associated with distracted driving. Similarly, in the city of Surprise, Arizona, the city council approved the distracted driving ordinance, penalizing the usage of mobile communication devices while driving. These larger scale solutions are crucial in order to cease distracted driving. With that being said, each individual also can take actions themselves to prevent distracted driving. A common solution is to pull over while you're eating. Instead of eating on the road, sit in the parking lot and eat. Pull over and eat if you really need to eat at that moment. Don't be putting yourself in the situation to be eating and driving. Another solution is to put your cellular devices in the glove compartment while driving. This will eliminate all temptations. Now that we see what the solutions can be, next let's wrap it up and review what we learned today. I showed you the prominence and effects of distracted driving, unveiled the main sources of distracted driving, and finally I exhibited the ways to avoid distracted driving. Today, hopefully, I influenced you to not partake in distracted driving. I want you to ask yourself this question again in 6 months. Have you ever been a part of or partaken in distracted driving? The answer should be no from now on. Do your part in putting an end to distracted driving.